the guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed.
Daniel Penny speaking exclusively to Fox for the first time since being cleared of all charges.
This, as his defense team tells us, they're considering filing their own lawsuit for malicious persecution. Good for them.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's talk to Daniel Penny's attorney. Stephen Razor joins us right now. Stephen, congratulations. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you as well.
So we saw you yesterday. We were running the video of you and Danny and another attorney at the Stone Street Tavern after his acquittal. I know you've got the attorney-client privilege, but tell us what you guys were talking about. I mean, is there one thing that he said to you that you thought, wow, that's cool?
Well, the relief he felt, and that other attorney, by the way, is Thomas Kniff, partner Razor and Kniff. And, you know, Danny, for us, you know, it became more than just a case, right? So we're trying to take care of Danny and make sure that he's treated fairly in a system that was geared to prosecute him maliciously in a manner in which was not supported by the evidence, and there was other motivations at play here. So Danny's saying that he's relieved. That was the best thing that I could ever hear, because the amount of stress that he's been under for the past year and a half has been tremendous.
You know, Stephen, you're correct. It was a malicious prosecution. But I got to ask you about this lawsuit that y'all may go against him with, because at one point, when they tried to get some consolation charge against Daniel, the jury struck it down. But the judge agreed with you that it wasn't really the right process to go by, but still allowed it to happen.
Yeah, well, he did. I mean, he actually made sure it happened. So for whatever reason, you know, so I can't get into the mind of the judge, right? But what I do know is that it was based on the application of the district attorney's office. And just like Danny said in his interview, it was like they wanted to try and get him on something. They knew they weren't going to be able to get him, so they had to get rid of that top count in order to get to that second count, just in the hopes that maybe they could pull out a win here. And they were unsuccessful, thank God.
Yeah, you know, I think the difficult thing for me, I think about his family. I'm a mom. I think about his mom, his sisters. So this happens. He's acquitted. He's free. But now there's other lawsuits. The one from Jordan Neely's father, who suddenly appeared out of the woodwork. But you're now you're contemplating this malicious prosecution. How does this work? Who exactly are you going? Is this against Alvin Bragg? Who does this actually go against?
Well, it goes against Alvin Bragg for the way in which he handled this case and the ethical lines that were blurred. Yeah, I mean, the medical examiner's office, Chief Graham, for his involvement in this case. I mean, the record was made fairly clear as to the extent of his involvement in what occurred here. You know, he was appointed by Mayor Adams, same political party as Alvin Bragg. There was collusion there. And I mean, the collusion began from the very beginning of this case and all the way through. The district attorney needed the medical examiner and needed the medical examiner to act quickly, and he did just that.
So, first off, how concerned were you after Donald Trump got convicted by this New York jury in a case that no one thought had validity to, including a lot of Democrats? What were you thinking, knowing that you had a case coming up right after that?
Yeah, so that's it's a great point, because to be honest with you, it was scary. And for us, from a defense perspective, we honed in on the most important part of the case was going to be jury selection, because that was going to be the biggest challenge, is to get a fair jury. And you know, from everything that we did and all the steps we took and the advisors that we put in place, it worked out. It really did, but it was close and it was difficult. So that was where the key battle was waged.
But Counselor, you know, people look at you as a criminal defense attorney, but you were in the prosecutor's office before this. How do you feel about the system being the way it is? I mean, when you were a prosecutor, this is not the type of stuff y'all went after. They are allowing the criminals to roam the street, and the civilians that protect the citizens are now the criminals. How do you feel about this system?
Well, that's just it. I mean, and there was some highlights that were put out there quite extensively in regards to this office's practice in not prosecuting crime, and some very serious cases, too, talking about restorative justice and such, which, by the way, in some circumstances, that's a great thing, and it can be, but some brutal cases of an individual who attacked an 80-year-old man, mugging him and punching him and ultimately killing him. And yet you're going to go after full-throated against my client, who you admit did a laudable thing and is a fine young man. Despicable. I'm sorry, it's despicable.
Stephen, you in talking about how a couple of moments ago, in talking about how you may file these lawsuits against Alvin Bragg, medical examiner, you had said there were motivations involved. What were the motivations that those offices did that would, in your estimation, break the law?
Well, listen, it's not necessarily even about breaking the law. It's blurring ethical boundaries and failing to act in the manner in which you are expected because of your office. But the bottom line is a lot of this came out at trial, too. And it was clear that there was a fear that if an arrest wasn't made and made very quickly, that there might be rioting in the streets, and that may ultimately look very bad for District Attorney Alvin Bragg. And if that, in fact, happened, that could affect his reelection. Now, let's keep in mind, we know this is a Democrat stronghold, right? But don't forget, Alvin Bragg has the consideration of the primary. So if he doesn't keep his base happy, he could get primaried, and that's where he's vulnerable.
He should be. Real quick, Danny Penny, the person that you started to represent a year and a half ago, and the Danny Penny now, who's been screamed at, been called a murderer. You could hear the chants in the courtroom every day. How has he changed?
Well, look, he's scarred from this, okay? I mean, it's great. We had a great resolution. But as you know, there's already a lawsuit filed against him. And you know, the timing of it is somewhat suspect as far as the coordination between the district attorney's office and the family attorneys. So you know, Danny will be forever changed. He will always have that fear because they wanted to instill fear, right? So a heightened alertness, let's say, right? So Danny's a strong guy, and he's going to continue with his life. He's going to pursue his degree, and he's going to have a great career. But he'll be forever changed, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that other than to pursue these causes of action, defend him against any slanderous attempts to to hurt him in the future.
Well, you won for him, and you worked so hard. It was extremely personal for you and your partner to get him this victory and defend him. So great job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.